Hi cuties, besties, and ghosties. This is Muertera. Welcome to my channel, Muertera. To my friends that are returning, hello, welcome back. I missed you so much. To all of my new friends, welcome home. I hope you are here to stay. Today we are going to be asking for messages from your soul family / from your soulmates. We have 3 piles. Honestly, I'm just going to keep this kind of open and see what messages come through because of the nature of this reading. And I'm refilming this intro because of the way that the messages came out. Like, you could be drawn to multiple piles. The messages were very different in every single one. So if you do feel called to more than one, this is definitely a type of reading that you can watch any of them. It's interesting, like when I picked out these decks, like these aren't normally decks that I would like use for love. And I kind of thought that this was more going to be like a lovey reading. Not saying that one of the piles wasn't love focused, but not all of them were. So I thought the messages that came out were really beautiful. We had, I don't want to give too much away from the readings, but they're all very, very different. And we'll start out with oracles, kind of dig into the energy, kind of the overall message of what's coming through. And then I use tarot to just get some additional clarification. We have some advice at the end of it. Again, really beautiful messages. These are people in your soul family that just want the best for you. They're in your life for a purpose. And they have a lot of love for you. So, yeah. If you've never done a pick a pile reading, I'll have a section right after this where I'll talk about all the crystals and we can talk about the decks, and then I'll play a singing bowl, and then you can pop on over to your reading. So if I don't see you there, then I will see you in your reading. Okay, bye. Hello there again. If you came to this section, this is your pick a pile section, and let's get to it. So this is a desert rose selenite. This is all about persevering in the face of obstacles. I also just love it because it looks like a very chaotic brain. Makes me super happy. This is the Mysterious Forest Tarot, one of my faves. In the middle, we have the Cute Ghost Tarot, and we have this piece of citrine. This was a present from a friend. It also is a really great stone to work with if you are trying to create prosperity in your life, if you are trying to create abundance, especially like emotional abundance. That's your gal. And then the third pile is the Buffy the Vampire Slayer Tarot. And we have a little chunk from a geode. So I think geodes are just, about busting through the BS, getting to the heart of a matter, kind of diamond in the rough energy. So yeah, these are your piles. Okay, so hopefully you have had time to choose your pile, and you can click down in the time or in the description for the timestamps, and I will see you in your reading. Okay, bye. Hi cuties. If you chose this Desert Rose selenite, then this is your reading. I'm going to move the tarot off to the side for the moment, and we will start with your oracles. So, let's see. To start off, we have the Mother, and we have the Vision. We have 33, I am expanding. We have Balance. We have the All-Knower, and I'm starting to understand our connection. So for some of you, it's interesting, like the message is not coming through from your like penultimate soulmate. Like I'm of the mind that we have multiple soulmates. There are people that we have soul contracts with that come into our life for a certain purpose and a certain reason. And I have, I don't like to call people karmics, to be perfectly honest. I think it almost like cheapens the role that they're supposed to have in our life. And I think we give people that label a lot because generally these circumstances are very hurtful. And it's going to be a range for people. Like, I don't want to kind of like pinpoint like who this person is in your life, because for some of you, it could be somebody who you've spent significant time with. For somebody else, this is going to be somebody who comes into your life and out with kind of a bang. And they honestly could already have come and gone. They could be in your life right now. They could be coming very quickly in the future. I feel like this is an energy that is at play in your life right now, though. And this person's purpose in your life is to really help you expand your life and connect to your spirituality in a new way. I feel like when they come in, you are going to be working through a lot of kind of mother wounds. I mean, the mother's here. 3 times 3 is 9. Well, yeah, in my religion is my mom, so I always think of her when I see that number. And I feel like this person is coming into your life to actually kind of like, I mean, not physically, but like physically push you off balance. And the reason why is because the way that you've been brought up has created distortion in your life. And that's true for all of us. We kind of carry like sins of the father. We carry the burdens of our parents' pain and the circumstances that they've been brought up in. And they do their best with us, right? But we're different people. And part of growing up and growing into ourselves and figuring out who we are is kind of unpacking what did not serve us in childhood and what we want to change for the future. And this person is really here to help you crystallize what needs to change in your life in order for you to build the life of your dreams and the life that you really want to live. I feel like this is something that you were aware of before you met this person, but for some reason, and I mean, when I say some reason, I mean, this is kind of like fated in a way, right? Like you have a soul contract with this person. This person's purpose in your life is to help you start understanding your role, not only just in your life and the path that you want to take, but your role in the universe, your role in the cosmos, the energy that you want to bring into this planet, and the path that you want to take in order to kind of manifest that energy. Especially with the all-knower, like this is something that you know within yourself already. And it's a matter of clearing away the bullshit so you can reconnect with it. We have these little skulls underground this has to do with ancestral ties as well, and like past life karmic cycles. You have a mission in this life to resolve something from either your family line or from your past lives. And this person's almost popping in, and it does feel like kind of like a swift knockoff balance. They come in and they're going to shake things up, and then they're going to jump out. And they really want you to know, like, this is out of love. And this person was very close to you in a past life. I'm getting like strong like mother from them, or potentially like an older sibling that helped raise you. And they took this role on for your soul growth, but it's also for theirs as well. And this is a very close soulmate, like somebody in your soul family that you have traveled multiple lives with in different roles. I think a lot of the times is family. And in this particular lifetime, you're a little bit more distant. I think what I'm feeling is like you were on kind of parallel paths for a while, but you got to the point where in order for your souls to actually expand further and grow, you needed to live this life with more distance. But you still have soul ties and contracts with each other, and your souls actually don't really like being away from each other. And so you may find when you meet this person, you have just like an instant connection that is just undescribable, and you don't really understand it. You don't know why you're so attracted to this person. It could be somebody who just like changes your mindset. It could be a romantic partner. Our past ties don't have to influence how they come in. They're going to come in a way that is going to impact you in the right way in this lifetime. So you're going to feel a magnetic draw to this person because your lives, you've lived so many lives in such close proximity. And they have so much just absolute, pure, unadulterated love for you. So let's see what messages they have for you. Okay. Spirit and soulmates higher self, what messages do you have? Okay, we have the Page of Swords, the Nine of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Ten of Cups. Okay. And can we clarify all of these cards, please? The Seven of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands in reverse, the Moon, okay, I'm going to take this Eight of Swords. So something that's coming through like pretty strongly from this person's higher self is that they really want to communicate with you again and reinforce that although like they're not going to be able to really explain to you like why this connection is the way that it is, why it takes shape the way that it does. Like it does kind of have this like very like in and out energy. This is something that's bigger than kind of like the earthly plane. And it's really supposed to be there to put an end to some sort of like monotony that has taken root in your life. We have the Nine of Wands clarified by the Four of Pentacles. And for me, this is just giving like almost like a hamster on a wheel type of energy. Like you just kind of keep going. You got your Four of Pentacles, but they never really like multiply into anything else. It's just like almost like you're kind of like on autopilot, just going through life and almost like living life as a continuation of the day before. And your soul really wants to expand and it wants to grow. But there's just this like stagnant energy. And the stagnant energy is a feature. It's not a bug of this lifetime. But the only way for you to actually move forward and really start living your life, like not just kind of like going through the motions and you picked a stone of perseverance. Like I feel like no matter what happens to you, you bounce back. Like you have a very determined and I want to say like dogged energy to you. It feels like things don't actually really knock you off course. Like you could go through a really fucked up situation, really have something terrible happen to you, or just have like the worst day where somebody else might be like, well, you know what? I had the worst day of my life yesterday. I'm going to call out of work. It feels like you just kind of, to a certain extent, like let things roll off your shoulders a little bit and you just keep going. And you're not really taking the amount of time for yourself to really get to know you and get to know what you need and how to move forward in your life and create a purpose and create connection for yourself in the way that your soul really craves. And it's almost giving like this feeling of just kind of boredom. And I think a lot of this comes down to you not wanting to spend a lot of time by yourself. I feel like it's much more comfortable for you to live a life where you are kind of constantly in motion, or you constantly have people around you. Like you may have tendencies to kind of like work through issues that you're having. And it's a way to kind of deflect from your insides and actually figuring out how to process through the heavier emotions that you're carrying around. And this person is going to come in like almost as like a breath of fresh air. And it's going to show you that there's a different way to live and a way to live that's a little bit more aligned with yourself. And really rip, like you have the 10 of Cups and then the 8 of Swords to clarify. It's going to rip that blindfold off. In the traditional Rider-Waite, the 8 of Swords, it's a woman with a blindfold standing in a field of swords. And I kind of feel like that's how you've been living life a little bit. When this person comes in, where almost like every step feels like it hurts. And so rather than taking the steps and moving forward, you've just been kind of standing still. And your soul really wants growth. Your soul really wants movement. Your soul wants to bring in more light and happiness and get you out of, it feels like a little bit of toxic energy. And the energy mostly feels like it's coming from outside. Like we have the Queen of Wands under the Seven of Pentacles. And I feel like once you start looking and actually reflecting on your life and who's in it, I feel like you're going to find some people that don't really have your best interests at mind and really are just trying to kind of leech off of you. Like they see this energy where you can take on a lot of heaviness, and it's because you've tackled a lot of really heavy things in your life. But people around you use this selfishly to a certain extent. And they kind of drag you down with their own bullshit because they don't want to deal with it. And you're like an easy person to go to. Like you kind of like take on other people's burdens really easily. It's just almost like, oh, well, I'm carrying all this heavy around stuff anyway. It's just another piece of straw on the camel's back. And this person is really there to like kind of like put an end to that and like put that last straw on it and really push you in a different direction. And ultimately, what's going to come out of this is you're going to move from this kind of Page of Cups energy where I feel like a lot of like there may be a lot of people around you that have interest, but it's like a very juvenile interest in a lot of ways. Like it doesn't really move forward, or you're not getting the type of commitment that you're wanting, or you're with a partner and it's just, again, it's this kind of like routine day by day. Okay, like now we're going to move in together and now we're going to do this. And maybe it doesn't really progress in the way that you want it to in terms of emotional depth. This is really going to open up your ability to connect with people on a much deeper level. So if you're in a partnership, like you'll find that you're able to deepen your relationship with that partner because you're more in connection with your emotions. If you're looking for a partner and, you've been finding like, oh, I just find people that aren't really like interested in settling down, or, I don't feel like there's emotional fulfillment here. Once you get more tapped into your emotions, then you will start attracting people who are also able to kind of sit in their emotions and can offer you that much deeper connection that you're looking for. Yeah. I think I'm going to grab some pieces of advice like from this person's higher self. So I don't know if I have too much more to say about this. Okay, Spirit. What piece of advice do you have? Okay. We have fall into my arms. Surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. Let's get one more. And we have the void, stop, embrace winter, great cosmic womb. I think this is really about surrendering to the universe and really being able to look at other perspectives. Again, this person is going to come in different ways for each of you. But when they do, I think the most important part and what they're really asking is not to focus on them. Because I think there's going to be a temptation to kind of like deflect going within and deflect really staring into the void a little bit by focusing on them, focusing on either their behavior or the loss of them or the excitement of them, all of these things. And that's not really the purpose of why they're in your life. Like the purpose of them kind of dropping in and out is for you to start going within. And And this void says, it's again like, stop, embrace winter, great cosmic womb. Like, this is your time to really take and understand yourself and deepen your connection with yourself. So then you can therefore bring it out and deepen your connection with everyone else in your life. And I think this is going to create so much emotional fulfillment for you once you've really integrated the lessons. So this is what I have for you today. I hope this was helpful. Yeah, if this resonated with kind of the path that you're on or someone you've experienced in your life, definitely comment, like, subscribe. That really helps me grow my channel. Above all, keep your little heart safe, and I hope I will see you again in another reading. Okay, bye. Hi, little cuties. If you chose the citrine and the cute ghost tarot, then this is your reading. We're going to move this off to the side and grab some oracles. Okay, so we have the Warrior. We have 1010, I am patient. We actually got 3 energy cards. We have anxiety, sadness, and abundance. We have your dreams are closer than you think, number 44, and I can't stop thinking about you. Okay. So interesting. When I was grabbing the cute ghost tarot, I dropped a card and it was the 10 of Cups. Wonder if it's still on the bottom of the deck. So I think I shoved it back in. I don't know. Yep, right here. Pile 1 was definitely not their forever soulmate. I feel like this person is your forever soulmate. Whoop. I'm going to take that as some confirmation. If I don't think I would be able to remove that car engine from this reading. So I'm going to keep it. But I do think that, you know, this is somebody that you could have met already. This may be somebody who is coming in the future. But this does feel like your forever person. Yeah, whereas Pile 1 was kind of just like a higher soulmate that had been traveling with them for a while. You may be at this reading because it's taken a bit of time to actually find your person, and you may be kind of looking for hope or feeling like maybe this isn't going to happen for you. I get some anxious feelings from this pile, and like, you've shed a lot of tears over this. Your soulmate wants to remind you that, like, human time is not the same as spirit time. And you still have so much time left in your life. Like, time is not running out. I feel like time is a very important thing for you and for this pile. Like, you may feel like time is kind of slipping by, and your soulmate just wants to let you know that it's not. Like, there's a purpose for this. Your soul needs to grow in a certain way for you to be able to connect with them. And it is going to come faster than you imagine. Like, this isn't going to be something that just like pops in tomorrow. But I feel like when it happens, it's almost going to be like so unexpected for you, because you've waited kind of so long for this that it almost feels like the wait is endless, but it's not actually endless. And I'm also feeling like your soulmate really wants to acknowledge the amount of self-work that you've done, and the amount of healing that you've kind of prioritized in the meantime, while it took them a long ass time to show up. Like they're really recognizing that. I think this has turned you into a warrior, and it's really like you are the rock that's been kind of pressed into a diamond. And I feel like maybe even some of you may feel like you've been overlooked in a way. And there's all kind of a purpose to that. Like you haven't been overlooked by anybody who was meant for you. Like they were meant to miss you, and they were meant to pass you. And when you meet this person, they're going to see that light shining from you, and they're really going to be able to kind of dignify it and give you the attention, respect, love. Just, they're going to see you in a way that you deserve. The flame on my candle has to be about like 2 inches high right now. It's just like kind of out of control. This person is going to bring a lot of steadiness into your life, and they're going to be able to match this warrior energy. Like you're going to be a team. It's not just going to be you battling anymore. It's going to be the two of you on the battlefield, like back to back. And you know that like this person has your back, and it's going to give you kind of like the safety that you've been looking for externally. And I think when you meet this person, you've finally been able to create that for yourself. And they're going to be able to match that within you. Some really like beautiful energy. Like I feel like as I'm like talking about it, it's just becoming kind of like more stable and like just very, very sweet, respectful, loving, adoring, and just like this energy of such appreciation. Like this person is just going to appreciate the shit out of you, like being alive, and be so grateful for it. Okay. Let's look at the tarot. Ooh, and we have the Magician coming out. Coming out strong. Look at that. I was wondering when I like... And the Three of Swords as well. Yeah. I almost took this deck out of this reading because I felt like it was a pretty heavy deck to use for this type of reading. But for you, I feel like there is this energy of things just kind of passing you and being kind of like distraught and sad and wondering why it never seems to be your time. Like almost like a ghost, like floating away. I don't know. I just feel like this is like very fitting for it because, again, like those things weren't meant for you. They were always meant to kind of pass you. And the thing that's coming in, like Ace of Sticks, is going to be something tangible and real that you can hold on to, that you don't have to like try to force. It's almost like a square peg in a round hole kind of situation. Like all of a sudden you're going to find somebody who is a cylinder and actually fits in the round hole. Yikes with the Ace of Wands. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. Anyway, Spirit, what does this person's soulmate have to say to them? Okay, we have the Tower. We have Strength, the Knight of Swords. Oh, I just heard, like, I'm going to put your broken heart back together. have the World in reverse. And then we have the Six of Cups in reverse, clarified by the Nine of Blades. Okay. Can I have clarification for all of these, please? We have the Queen of Cups, the King of Wands in reverse. And then we have Justice. The Moon in reverse. The Fool. And what is popping out here? Okay. And the King of Pence. What did I say about something like tangible you can hold? Like, when this person comes in, it's going to be very obvious that they're not fucking around. Like, and they're going to be able to see immediately, maybe not on a physical level, but on an emotional level, that people have hurt you in the past, and the way that they've hurt you has been kind of varied, but I feel like the overall theme has been some sort of unreliability. Like, this person, like, people in your past have said that they were going to do something and then didn't do it. They have made false promises. They've kind of come rushing in and then not actually fulfilled what they said they were going to. This person is going to be completely different, and they want to be completely different from you. Like, this person wants to rewrite the book of your life when it comes to love. And they're really not going to be satisfied until they do that. Like, they're not going to be satisfied until, I don't want to say like until you're happy, because, you know, like, we can't make somebody else happy, but they're just not going to be satisfied until they know that they're the best thing that you've ever had. Like, it feels like they just want to take that step with you in a way that feels fresh and new for both of you and is just really healing. Like, they really want to be able to kind of end this cycle that you've been experiencing of people coming into your life, making false promises, and then breaking your heart and kind of dashing out. Like, that feels like what you've experienced up until now. And it kind of feels like there have been points where you've just like stared at the ceiling and been like, well, fuck, like, is this ever going to get better? Is somebody ever going to come in that isn't going to do this and is actually going to stay? And this person's like, yep, I am. And I'm fucking coming. And I'm going to stay. Like, I'm not going to have this like dine and dash mentality towards a relationship with you. Like, I see the pain that you've gone through. I have seen that you have fought your battles, and I respect that. I have fought my own, and I want to take on the world with you by my side. And this person has extremely high standards. And I think like the more that they get to know you and what you've been through, the more they like really want to like step up to the plate, because they just love the shit out of you and respect you. The biggest message that I'm getting from this person right now is that they're coming. Like, they don't want to tell me like too much about what the relationship is going to look like. This is also a general reading, but this person is like, no, like, I'm coming. This is not a question. It's a question of when, not if. And they really want you to know, yes, this has felt endless. Like, this has felt endless for them too. They have also not found the right person. And it's really like more like when they meet you, they're going to want to do it right. And I think there is going to be a little bit of hesitation on your end, especially, where this is going to feel almost brand new because it is stable in a way that you've never experienced before. And so they really want to again, like, they're like, I'm coming and I'm different. They want you to know that, like, this is going to be a different experience and a different energy than what you've experienced before. And like, different in a way where, I don't know, you see, I think like right now, like it's a trend to see kind of memes about quote unquote like chemistry actually just being like in butterflies in your stomach, actually being kind of triggered wounds from childhood and not actual chemistry. I feel like this person is going to feel very different, and they want you to know that. Like, don't be scared if I feel different or if I don't feel super exciting. Like, we have the King of Wands in reverse here. This person isn't gonna be the most fiery person in the room. I feel like you've been dealing with more like Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords type energies where they're kind of unstable. They might be really exciting when they come in, but they just have no longevity. This person is going to be different. Like they're like Queen of Cups and King of Coins energy. They're going to feel like this very deep love for you. They're not going to be afraid to express it, but it may take some time for them to actually like come forward and make that offer. But when they do it, they're going to do it in a very tangible way. It's not going to be like, oh, I met you, you're hot, like, let's do this. And then, you know, they disappear in a month. Like, that's not the type of energy this person brings to the table. They're very like measured and fair, and they want to do right by you. And that might be very uncomfortable for you at first, or you might kind of question whether or not this person is into you or, yeah, is into you. And I think just over time, like they're going to keep coming back. Like they're not going to take no for an answer, but like in a respectful way. You know what I mean? Where they're just like, okay, well, you're not ready. So I don't even think they're going to ask you until like actually ask you out until they know like, okay, this person is actually open to me and ready. I think they're going to kind of suss that out and be like, okay, well, I'm going to get to know you a little bit more so you know that I'm stable and I'm here to stay and I'm not going to do this bullshit to you. Yeah, this is exciting. I like this person's energy a lot. Like, honestly, they're showing up very heavy pentacles. Again, kind of like slow moving energy, but it is very stable. It's very, like, this person has a lot of depth to them. And I think it's going to take a while for you to really like see that depth, but they're the real deal. And they're going. So yeah, let's grab you some pieces of advice. Love this reading. Okay, what advice? Oh my gosh. Okay, well, oof, oof, doo, 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 doo. We're not going to take any of these cards. But I did see, I'm sorry. And I think this person, like, okay, here we go. We have trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. Again, time is such heavy time vibes in this pile. I think this person, like the I'm sorry, is them being like, yeah, like I know it's taking a long ass time and I'm sorry for that, you know. I think this timing is something that you both need to be ready to accept this type of connection, and it is taking a long time to get you there. I think that is like your soul's path for this lifetime though. Because the both of you feel like you've needed time to grow, especially to be able to like accept something that is not the exciting version or the chemistry version. Like you kind of had to like learn that lesson first. Okay. And then we have weight of the world, boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. So I feel like the best thing you can do right now, truly, is to just let the burden of finding this person go. They're coming. It is going to happen. You don't have any control about when this is going to happen. Shit, you could have met this person already and they're just getting to know you. I think getting in touch with your emotions and trying to figure out, like, get clear on what you want. Get clear on, like, what are triggers that are contributing to you kind of misunderstanding other types of connections. Like, these people who kind of like come in and out, like, how does that make you feel when you meet them? Identify that and kind of go for the opposite. Honestly, I feel like that's the best advice here. And just trust that it's coming. Like, the weight of timing is truly not yours to carry. It is not a stress that you need to hold on to. It is not something that needs to be creating sadness for you right now. Because when this person comes in, they're going to come in and they're going to come to stay. So this is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful and comforting, and I hope this kind of alleviates some of the anxiety. Yeah. I think the message in this was so simple, but if this resonated, please like, comment, subscribe. I'm so grateful to have you here. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me for a little bit. And until I see you again, protect your little heart. And yeah, trust in the process and timing. Okay, bye. Hi cuties! If you chose this piece of geode and the Buffy the Vampire Slayer tarot, this is your reading. And we are asking for messages from one of your soulmates. Remember, soulmates can be romantic or they can be people who are in your soul family. We've gotten both of them so far. This is pile 3, so excited to kind of dig in and see what's here. First, we have the 1, and we have the Starborn. We have number 29, I am insightful. Surrender. We have Smother. I regret lying to you, and I want to tell you how I feel. Okay. So this feels like a person who came into your life I can almost see this in 2 different ways. I see this as a partner that you aren't ultimately going to end up with, or this could be like a parental figure. And it like might not even be your actual parent. The way I get with like Smother feels like this person's role in your life and in your soul development was really to almost point out that you are different. That you have a different connection with the universe. It feels like they have put parameters on you in this life that almost cage you in. And it's supposed to do I'm also looking at these numbers. That just like kind of made me lose my track of thought. But like we have 29 and then we have the 1. 29 plus 1 is 30. Like, and then this is 3. We have 3. Yeah. This is 30 as well. it almost feels like this is supposed to have like some sort of like network effect and ripple out into the worlds and the universe. And you two, I mean, you have a soul contract with this person. Like, this person is supposed to be this presence in your life. And through their smothering energy, it's almost supposed to kind of like crack you open in a way. So you can get more connected with yourself and your oneness with the universe. This is going to create like insights for you and help you integrate kind of spiritual downloads. And the way that it's going to take effect is through conflict with this person. The change that it's going to have in their life in particular, I feel like they're going to have regrets from the way that they handle the situation that is going to force them to grow in a certain direction. And I feel like for you, this is going to push you in a direction where you are forced to kind of stand up for yourself in a way that isn't necessarily natural for you, but is very necessary for you to grow as a person. And also will help you start to integrate the ways that you feel different on the inside that you aren't able to really express to other people. And through this expression, again, it's going to have ripple effects. Like, it's going to help move this person in the right direction, but it also is going to start attracting you to the people that you're really supposed to be around in this lifetime. This is going to be a very impactful connection. I think for many of you, this is a parental figure. And I feel like your relationship with your parents has shifted in the last maybe year or two, somewhere around there. It could be a little bit longer, or it could be just starting to shift now, but this is almost like it's like a pebble is thrown and it creates these ripple effects. For others of you, this may be a partner who is just a little bit less connected and maybe kind of I hate to say it like this, but more 3D, more less spiritually inclined than you are. And I think the boxes that they put around you in kind of expressing yourself in a way that they don't understand, it makes you push harder against it. And that's why it's kind of it feels like if this person is a partner like that, it is not a person that you are ultimately going to end up with. They're really this soulmate's role is to create that box around you, so you almost have something to rebel against. This almost feels like a little bit of rebellion energy, where you have this energy kind of smothering you, trying to tell you who you are, how to be, how to live, how to be happy. And you're supposed to just completely break that mold. It's like throwing rocks at a glass house, something like that. So yeah, if this sounds like something that you've been through or going through, or you feel like you don't fit that mold, this is your reading. Let's see what this soulmate has to say. And it's interesting that you picked the Buffy the Vampire Slayer deck, and also this crystal, or the geode, because geodes you have to smash open to get to the center. Buffy also was a vampire slayer, and at one point was a cheerleader and a popular girl, and She did not fit that mold. And had a lot of conflict and had to grow a lot because of the constraints of like who she was and how being herself did not align with other people's expectations of her. And she kind of was almost like a fish out of water. Like she didn't really make sense in the context that she was in. She's like in high school, but staying up all night fighting vampires. Some of that doesn't compute, you know? And that's kind of the energy that I get from you, but it's really about you kind of growing in a way where you're comfortable with breaking that mold and being who you need to be. Because who you need to be is someone who brings light to the world and has those ripple effects. Like I just keep hearing like network effects. Like you are going to impact people just by existing and being you. And without having that barrier or box to rebel against, like that's a feature. That's how you start making these moves and start having an impact, like the impact that you were supposed to on this world. Okay, we have the Six of Pentacles. And the Knight of Cups. The Page of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. And the Seven of Cups. Okay, Spirit, can we clarify all of these, please? The Eight of Swords. And the Queen of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. The Five of Cups in reverse. And the King of Stakes in reverse. Okay. So this soulmate really wants to emphasize, like, your path is in the future. And I think this is part of, did you have surrender or consciousness? I forget. Surrender. Let's pull this out and have this card here. Although you can't really see it, but I guess I should have pointed this out. Like this is the ripple effects. This soulmate does not want you to look backwards. I think there's going to be a tendency for you to reflect on this connection a lot, reflect on the things that went poorly, or not according to plan. Or you may have like an energy, especially if it's a parent, like feeling tied down by things that have happened in the past. And they really want you to kind of step out of that mindset and figure out how to use that as insight and use that as information to live the life that you want to live, even if it's not super clear to you right now. This connection and this person, they're really supposed to help you create more self-assurance about who you are. We have the Page of Pentacles and the Knight no, the Page of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles here. We have the Knight of Cups. I feel like ultimately this battle, like this Page of Pentacles is about to, you know, like mess some stuff up with these like two vampy guys with knives. This is supposed to bring you more peace. Like, yes, this is energy that is like, how do I explain this? Like, this whole deck is like relatively combative, right? Like, pretty much, I mean, I don't want to say every single card, but the majority of cards in this deck, everybody's like holding a weapon, ready to fight, whatever. And your two central cards, we have the Page of Pentacles clarified by the Four of Swords. You're geared up to fight, but you're fighting for the foundation of your life. And ultimately, it's supposed to bring you peace. And what this soulmate is saying is like, they don't want you to get so focused on the conflict and the battle of this that you lose sight of your life and what you're trying to build. Because we have a lot of pentacles here as well. We've got the Six of Pentacles. We have the Page of Pentacles. We have the Three of Pentacles. Like the Three of Pentacles is really about building foundations, building a future. Like after you're done with this fight, moving on and like establishing yourself and figuring out who you want to establish. And the Three of Pentacles is clarified by the Five of Cups reverse. Like the things that have happened to you in your past are part of your story, but they don't need to define the future. And the next card here we have is the Seven of Cups. I think like your life is yours to experience and to make mistakes in and experiment with. And this soulmate, regardless of how they behave in this life, because in this life, they are there to box you in. But it's almost a lie, right? Like they actually want expansion for your soul. They want you to go out and figure out who you are, figure out how to find that mold and break it. And their whole purpose here is to kind of push you in that direction, like almost like make you, this is messed up, but like make you so dissatisfied with the restrictions that are put around you that you're willing to go out and see what else is out there. For some of you, this may be, there may be like religious factors in here as well. Where you're going to be looking outside of your religion and that's going to cause conflict within your relationships, or your values don't 100% align with the way that people in your religion live. I'm getting for some people here that like you may be polyamorous and that might be something that is not accepted within your community, and that's something that you really want to explore. And the Seven of Cups, like the Seven of Cups can be about illusions, and unknowns. And I feel like part of this is even you've been so restricted in parts of your life that everybody defines for you what the good and bad is, and you actually don't, because you haven't had the experience to define that for yourself. Like you may actually have ideas on what would make you happy in this life. And then when you go and try to implement them, it's actually not the direction you want to go. And this soulmate really wants to tell you, like, that's okay. It's okay for you to go and experiment and try things out. Like, your experimentation is going to create the boundaries in your life that you're comfortable with. And the only way that you do that is by making mistakes, is by trying things out. Like, we also have the Knight of Cups with clarified by the Queen of Pentacles. Like, you being adventurous and kind of putting yourself out there and trying things, and not being afraid to do that, not being afraid to kind of live your truth and make mistakes. Like, I do feel like there's also this aspect of this person where part of their restriction was imposing kind of a rule of perfection for you. And there may be a hesitancy to you actually going out and pursuing other options. Like, and that's the King of Wands in reverse here, is, oh, I'm a little afraid of what's in that cup. Like, I kind of think it's going to make me happy, but I actually don't know that for sure. So I don't know if I really want to do that. I mean, don't run out and do things that don't make sense. But if you want to experiment, if you want to do something because you think that it's going to bring you joy, or you're really curious, don't be rational and reasonable about it, but don't let somebody else put a box around you that stops you from expressing yourself, I think is the point that I'm trying to make. And this soulmate says, like, yes, I know that the impact of me on your life is maybe there is going to be a little bit of fear of experimentation there. But don't let that be a thing. Like, the changes you're making in your life are going to have ripple effects into your relationships. If this is family, and say, like, I got into a brand new religion. I was raised Catholic, and at first my family was like, well, what is this, But over time, it made me really happy. And so they became much more accepting of it. And, like, that's not to say that they weren't in the first place, but it was something brand new. They didn't understand it. And it took time for my happiness to kind of ripple and create an understanding within my family that this is something that brings me a lot of joy and is a positive thing in my life. And that could be something that is similar for you, where, yeah, you might jump into the unknown and do something that's very outside of what your family would normally do or what they have done. But over time, when they see the impact of it on your life, and they see that it makes you happy and it makes you grow as a person, and you're becoming more stable, you're like growing into this Queen of Pentacles, it's going to create ripple effects, and acceptance will come. And so this soulmate really wants you to live a life that is genuine to who you are, and to not be afraid to be that person and live that life. That's really what they want for you. Oh. And they just said, I'm sorry for my methods. Sometimes we just have to trust in the process, and trust that there is a purpose. Okay, so let's see what advice your soulmate has for you. Okay, Earth School. We have life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. And we have forge, don't follow. Pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. Yeah. I mean, I think, again, this person is really like showing you, they're limiting you so you can grow. And so you can have the spiritual growth, and so you can become the person that you need to be. And the whole purpose of this is for you to forge this new path, for you to break the mold, see the mold, and then absolutely shatter it. And yeah, that's the best way that you can integrate this energy. So I hope this was helpful. I know that this is probably a lot of information to process. And by no means do I ever want to diminish the way that somebody has treated you. So I definitely want to distinguish like between this is somebody's higher self and we're talking about soul paths versus somebody's specific actions on earth. That is a human thing. They had free will. They can decide what to do, you know. You are strong, like you're different, and there's something extremely beautiful in that. So I hope that you embrace that. I'm really excited for you to break the mold and be who you are. And yeah, if this resonated, please like, comment, subscribe. Again, your energy is just really beautiful. I'm so grateful to have you here. And I hope that you will come back and see me again. But until then, protect your little heart, and I'll see you again in another reading soon. Okay, bye.